What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today I wanted to go ahead and talk one last time about this skill-based matchmaking discussion because all over the internet, I'm seeing the same thing over and over and over again. And it's kind of hilarious to me personally, but of course I wanted to, just discuss it a little bit further because it seems a lot of people are not satisfied with the blog post that they went ahead and released. Now, I'm not saying everybody, because again, there are a lot of people who are looking at this blog post, they're seeing a lot of the details, and yes, Activision, I personally feel like there's a few portions of that blog post that have been completely lied about, which again, we'll go ahead and talk about further within this video. But again, they pretty much gave us exactly what they told us they were going to give, plus more than I expected, because I thought they were going to ignore every last one of the conspiracy theories that people have been throwing out there, including myself. But, they covered it all. They literally said they are going to go ahead and discuss skill-based matchmaking in detail, what makes the matchmaking what it is. And then they release a blog post doing exactly that, showing every single fundamental of what makes up the skill-based matchmaking, going into detail about the fundamentals, which again, I'm mixed, of course, and we can all see that there were lies spread in some of these, descriptions, but they went ahead and still did it anyways. And they covered a handful of conspiracies. Yet people are severely disappointed, saying that this was an absolutely useless blog post, a useless update, when, like I said, it did exactly what they said they're going to do. And it just makes me think, would they just be better off not discussing this stuff with the community? And it seems like every single time they do anything for the community, like Sledgehammer Games on a Reddit trying to, take Q&A feedback, over half the page was pointless. And again, skill-based matchmaking, us complaining about it has got this blog post out to us. So, it's good that we keep hammering it to them. But there's times and places to do so. Sledgehammer went on a Q&A board to specifically try to improve the core game itself, and they got nothing but the same thing blasted at them time and time and time again. Skill-based matchmaking, skill-based matchmaking, skill-based matchmaking. Even though everybody knows they can't do anything about it, they still blast them with it. The community just isn't ever happy. They ask for more communication. When they get the communication, they complain about it. The community asks for them to talk about skill-based matchmaking. They literally talk about skill-based matchmaking, and the community complains about it. And a lot of people are saying, well, they should have talked about EOMM. And again, that could be a completely different topic, but, we can't lie. We have asked them to talk about skill-based matchmaking, and that's what they did. Could they have discussed other things or confirmed if EOMM is in the matchmaking algorithm or not in the algorithm? Yes. We could totally go ahead and do stuff like that, and we could totally go ahead and point that out as well. We can point that out. We can rant about it. We can discuss it. We can complain about it, right? We can. But again, to say that this was the biggest waste of time and Sledgehammer's pointless, or the Call of Duty team is pointless, they didn't do anything here, kind of blows my mind because, again, they did exactly what they said they're going to do, plus some. Like, I'm satisfied. I'll be honest with you guys. I am completely satisfied out of this talk. Do I expect more in the future? Do I expect more things to be discussed? Yes, 1010%. And they said they're going to go ahead and discuss other things, along with the matchmaking being too sweaty for, the more hardcore fan base. They talked about a lot of this stuff, and there's things that we can go ahead and, complain about for the future, like them claiming that the game, is definitely ping is king, which again is a term that doesn't really mean that, ping is supposed to be prioritized. Ping is king was always because, you want to be the host of the lobby. That was always the thing back in the day, back in COD 4, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, all those games, when you were a host, you were a god. So, the term was ping is king. If you were the host, you are literally going to dominate everybody because you have the best ping. Everybody else has to go ahead and work around you. But they're sitting here claiming that ping is prioritized, right? Like, ping is supposed to be up there, like maybe top 2, top 3 focused things on when it's matchmaking you, when clearly it's the complete opposite. Now, for me personally, I don't really run into it that much. I'll be honest. A lot of my pings, a lot of my connections are like 10 to 20. Yeah, in the pre-game lobby, it might search like 50 plus, 60 plus, 100 plus, 200 plus. It does do that quite frequently. But when I get into the actual game, the ping drops significantly back to normal, pings. And I don't really notice anything in-game either. My shots are landing. Everything's working fine. So I don't really understand what that is. I don't know if it's a visual glitch or anything like that. But there are tons of people out there where they're actually in the game and they are getting 100 plus pings, 150 plus pings, 200 plus pings constantly. Playing solo, not squatting up with other people from around the world. No, they're playing solo, so they should be prioritized. And they're still struggling out here trying to get connection. That was just a straight up lie, honestly, saying that ping is prioritized. And they showcased a bunch of other features within this blog post, also showcasing and proving that it's too complex. It's too detailed. Like, honestly, guys, I know a lot of people are not satisfied with what we got, but it's literally everything that we needed, right? It's everything that we needed. The problem with the matchmaking is it's too complex, it's too many variables, and it takes too long for it to figure out, what to put you in, when realistically, it should just be a very, very, very minor amount of skill, required to make sure that you're not stomping out people who are like disabled or anything like that. And then obviously ping and time to get into a lobby. They have so many like voice chat and map selection and, play all this different stuff just jammed into it, along with an extremely thick skill-based, detection, fine-tuning every movement, every shot, everything you do within the match. They literally showcased this to us on paper. So now we have it, now we have proof, and now we have something to work with finally, Because again, like I said, the biggest issue is that it doesn't match solo players properly. You are in carry mode 24/7. You are versing extremely good competition, which again isn't a problem, but then you have to carry 5, sometimes even more depending on the playlist that you're in, other individuals who should not be in your bracket. Also ruining experiences with friends. I know tons of people who can barely even play with their friends because of the fact that the skill-based matchmaking ruins the overall experience for them. Nothing's balanced anymore. Nothing is organic. Nothing feels like it's just, a massive play pool of players and you just get thrown into the mix. And sometimes you have to sweat. Sometimes you get the most casual games you can possibly think of. Sometimes they're, mediocre. It's not like that anymore. It's not. That's our biggest issue right here, ladies and gentlemen. That right there is our biggest issue, along with it throwing us in servers from across the globe because it's too busy trying to prioritize our skill instead of connection, even though they claim otherwise. And we got all of this stuff on paper. We got it all on paper, everything that we need to see, everything that we need to know, and we can finally work. We can finally work here, and we have proof, and we can say, well, this sucks, and it's because of this, and that. You showed it all to us. We know it's in the matchmaking. This has to be resolved. We have things that we can pinpoint now, but everybody's too hyper-focused on the fact that, they didn't discuss things that they never promised to go ahead and discuss. And also, there's tons of people who are just furious about the fact that, a lot of these conspiracy theories have been just completely cut clean. Again, I always ruffle feathers when I say this, but there has not been a single time where my bullets or shots or anything have been manipulated unless I'm tired and I'm not playing good. I'm just not in the mindset to stomp out in COD. And I own up to it, but there's so many people out here who don't own up to it. And they want these excuses. They really do. They are really grinding for these excuses to, make up for the fact that they might have gotten their butt whooped, when instead you could just simply accept it and say, yep, I'm just tired today. I don't feel like trying. That's all you got to do. But everybody wants to claim that this system is manipulating them more than just manipulating the players in their game. Because that's what it's doing, right? It's manipulating your matches because it's making sure that you are carrying a bunch of people who shouldn't be in that category. They're trying to make sure the bad players' experience is phenomenal and, the average subpar player's experience has to be mediocre. Sometimes you get a decent experience, but the majority of the time, you're going to sweat. That's all it is, because they know the bad players, as long as they have 1-2 people out there that are stomping out enough that can get their streaks, they'll be satisfied. Even if they lose the game, even if they go 1-20, they'll be satisfied because they're still able to, run around while an advanced is up in the sky, or they can still run around while they have a teammate gunship in the sky. They get that experience, an experience that they might not be able to obtain themselves, right? And that's what they're prioritizing here, instead of just making everything fair, throwing everybody into the mix and just seeing what happens. That's the manipulation that's going on, but people want to push it so much further, and they are not satisfied with what they heard. And again, it's just a typical COD community. They will never be satisfied. They really will not. Even if they, here's the thing. If they deny it, they'll get, bashed for saying they're lying. If they say they are doing it, they're going to be bashed for being manipulative and all this other crap, No matter what way they take, no matter what direction they go, they're always going to get crap. So that's why I'm bringing up this point of, should they be discussing this stuff with us? Personally, I like it. I love the communication. It took a long time to go ahead and get this communication. And who knows if they're actually going to live up to their word here and work on it, because they did say that for the people who are, more veteran players who are complaining about the matches being too sweaty, they're going to work on it. They're going to work on it. And I don't know if you want to take their word on that or if you don't want to take their word on that. But I mean, they've been doing pretty good with living up to their word. They said they're going to talk about skill-based matchmaking and what makes it tick, and they did exactly that. It took a long time. They're definitely not, a man of their word when it comes to a timeline to expect these things to release. But will it release sometime down the road? Who knows? But after seeing this come out, maybe it will. I have a little bit better faith, a little bit more hope that they will go ahead and actually tune things and let us test stuff out, in the near future, hopefully. But back to what I was saying, I love the communication. And, even though I'm putting up this video saying, maybe they shouldn't do it, it's only because, I want to just showcase the community at its truest form when it comes to Call of Duty. This is Call of Duty at its truest form. This is how the community always acts since the beginning of time, and it's trickled all the way until the end of time. Even when they get something that is crucial, they are not going to be satisfied, and they're going to, bash it. And even if they get what they want, they're still going to go ahead and bash it. It's just as simple as that. We got over half the stuff we've been begging for back into the, COD that Infinity Ward took away from us, and we're complaining about it. 1 year from Infinity Ward, and I know everybody's saying, well, it should have been in the game since day one, but, Treyarch always does it. Sledgehammer's been doing it. It's just Infinity Ward that's screwing us. So, yeah, you have one development team that keeps screwing us time and time again. Why bash the next development team who only has good intentions to make a good COD game? What, when Treyarch puts it in the game, we're going to say the same thing? Oh, well, they should have done that or what? No, you're not going to say that. So why would, you get what I'm saying here? No matter what they do, no matter how they handle anything, we are going to bash them in some way, shape, or form. And it's just kind of sad. I don't know. I don't even, I enjoyed reading the blog post, but it seems completely pointless because over half the stuff is just people complaining that it wasn't EOMM, even though they never said they're going to talk about EOMM. And, over half of them are angry that they're, lying about being manipulated in the game, and they're not, admitting to it. And I'm not saying everybody, because a lot of people are looking at this blog post with a realistic mindset saying, yes, this is the real deal, and it's bad. They've lied in the blog post. They've been saying some fibs. You know what I'm saying? They said a lot of stuff that riled us up, like connection and ping is king and all this other stuff, which are legitimate causes to be angry. 1,010%. I'm not telling you to not be angry about that at all. But then it's like I said, it's another massive portion of the community just keeps saying the same stuff, the same things over and over and over again. Even after we got all of this info, we'll still hear it until the end of time. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like, and if you hate it, which probably the majority of you guys will, leave a dislike. That's usually how these videos go, man. I know. I'm probably going to lose a ton of subs. I'm probably going to get a lot of dislikes, but it has to be said at the end of the day. There's a lot of things to go ahead and critique with this blog post. There's a lot of things to go ahead and complain about. There is, trust me. And a lot of content creators are already on it. There's tons of content creators out there who are critiquing and, complaining and, pointing out things and flaws. There's tons of people. Nero, the exclusive Ace, you got Blame Truth, you got a lot of other guys out here, the Ghost of 8, you got a lot of people who are talking about this stuff, who are putting out very valid, good points, but then you go into the comment section or you scroll around on Twitter or you go on the internet and you just see all these, just, like I said, the same crap as I always see. But again, leave a like if you enjoy, leave a dislike if you hate it, subscribe, hit that bell if you can be notified for more content just like this. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern time, and sometimes I give you guys a little present with a afternoon upload, on the rare occasion. And last but not least, if you guys are interested in any live streams, I stream over on Kick pretty much daily as well, besides Sundays. You can find a link to that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.